All right, in this video we're going to be doing a review over the Basecamp mask that they sent out to me. It's a little N99 equivalent mask that's used for everything from wood shop to going outside and dealing with the pollutants in the air. So that's a really exciting thing. And we're going to do some comparisons against its competitor, the RZ dust mask that you've seen me wear a ton of times on the channel. So we're going to be going over both of those. In the meantime, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. In the meantime, let's get to the review. All right, so let's go over what the Basecamp package actually has inside of it. So this is your basic package. Their sizing is a little bit different. Like on RZ Dust Mask, a large on their system is a medium on the Basecamp system. So we got a medium because I wear a large in RZ Dust Masks. But that's what the package is. As far as what comes in it, we get 2 masks, which is actually kind of nice. So if you get one dirty, you got a backup, or if you and your wife work in the shop or whatever the case may be, then you've got 2 masks. The other thing it comes with is a cool little over-the-head lanyard type of a thing they call the AEB system. This basically allows it to stretch over the top of your head, which brings the little ear loops off from your ears. And then they give you a little manual that explains how that'll work. So that's basically what comes inside of the Basecamp system. Now what comes inside the RZ system is pretty much your mask and a filter, and that's about it. And it does come with a little bag that we don't have up here that you're probably either going to set to the side or whatnot, and you're going to forget about. So not really that big of a perk, really. So we didn't even bother to even bring it out here. It's so little of a perk. RZ Dust Mask has always served us really well, me and my family. The Basecamp one, this is brand new to us, so we're just kind of testing this out to see how this works. That being said, let's get into some of the features on how they come together and whatnot, and the similarities and differences. On the Basecamp model, we basically have the same stuff we'd see on the RZ Dust Mask. We have one regular filter that's N99 compliant. We have the normal little circular twist tab type of things. This way you can release your filter. And of course an exhaust valve to go and keep you cooler. One of the things they did different on theirs in comparison to the RZ, and this being the RZ here, is we can see that pretty much everything's the same. We got a filter with little tabs inside here, so this way we can turn it so we can remove these. And of course these are obviously the exhaust valves. But the difference between these two is if you look at the RZ, you'll notice one thing in particular. Number one is these are pretty tiny, so it's pretty easy to miss depending upon your head size. And on the Basecamp one, we have a lot longer flaps, so we have a much larger landing area. This actually is kind of important when you're wearing these, if you're not familiar with these. And it also has ear loops that are naturally built in, so this way you can easily put it on over your head, and then you can just connect at the back and you're done. The RZ, it's a little bit more complex. So when we go to put on RZ, open it up, put it over our nose, do this, fiddle around for a second to get it off our ear, and there we go. And now basically we're all connected. And that seems all fine and well, but on the Basecamp model, you're just going to go and put it on like this. You're just going to put it right over your face, just like the RZ Dust Mask, and then you're going to go like this. Then you're already hands-free, so these are already just dangling. So now we're just going to go ahead and do this, which then will secure it at the back of our head. And then if you prefer to keep it off from your ears, you can just do that with a little APB strap, and there you go. And this allows you to have all the comfort and convenience of the base mask without having it directly on your ears, and also makes it nice and easy to install. So definitely a nice system when it comes down to that. So what's the breathability like? Let's get into that. All right, so breathability. Um, the base camp version is really breathable. I can feel air coming in and I can feel air going out, and I'm not getting warm. It's about 73 degrees roughly where I'm at right now, and this is a nice feeling. I mean, you could probably do this all day long and it'd be perfectly fine. So this could be actually a normal daily wear kind of a mask, which is really nice. So very comfortable. Feels comfortable back here too. I don't have a lot of stress or anything like that in these areas, which are some problems that we commonly have when we're dealing with like the RZ dust masks and stuff like that. And then we'll go into how that works here in a minute as well. All right, so let's talk about breathability. So the problem with a lot of masks is that people feel like they're suffocating, right? Or at least that's what everyone tells me, is that they know somebody who's doing that. So anyway, point being is that when you're wearing a dust mask, you're wearing it to go and protect yourself against dust and other various things that might be in your environment. But these aren't just dust masks, right? These are also a PM 2.5 type of a mask. So that means it's going to be able to filter out other elements out of the air, like industrial pollutants, car smog, possibly other things that we're not going to talk about because then we get demonetized. But the point is, is that breathability is super important, right? We need to be able to breathe in order to be able to go and live. So this actually seems to be really good. I've been wearing this actually for a little bit now. We took a little break here, kind of walked around with it, talked to a few people, came back in, and after wearing it for about 10 minutes, I'd say I'm just about as comfortable as I could possibly be in a mask. So overall, comfort, definitely a plus. So, and I'm not getting hot or anything like that. It's about 73 degrees Fahrenheit in here right now, and I feel fine. I mean, it's fine. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing. I'll go ahead and put on the RZ dust mask and we'll test it out here next for breathability. All right, so now I have on the RZ dust mask mesh V2 with an F3 filter, which is their easiest filter to breathe through. So the difference here is that this, even though it's their easiest filter to breathe through, it does seem to be a little bit more restrictive. So we're not getting as much air coming in, but that's not necessarily always a bad thing because that means the filter is probably just a little bit more restrictive in general, which means it's probably picking up more microns. The base camp ones are rated down to 0.3 microns, which is good for lots of outdoor utility stuff. And these are rated down to 0.1 micron, which is smaller than most really small things like dust particles and things like that. As a matter of fact, dust particles is actually a PM 2.5, which is where they get the term from. So anyway, this one here is much more restrictive, which means it's going to be going and probably protecting you just a tiny bit better, but it is more restrictive. So this might be a little bit more uncomfortable. And without having the ear loops, kind of like that one does, it does make it a little bit harder to put on because you got to fidget with it and kind of get it good to where you want it to be. And also RZ's lack of having a longer throw here on the back is also making that, well, just not as great. And you only get one RZ in a bag, and they don't really give you any real filters with them. So there's that. So I guess we'll just move over to in conclusion at this point. Okay, so let's talk about what's good and what's bad. So the RZ dust mask comes with some very small Velcro attachments, which that's going to make it difficult if you happen to be just slightly in one size or not in the other kind of a thing. So this may not fit as well on some people as it probably should. That can be problematic because when you're trying to wear a mask like this, you want to really have a good tight fit. And the RZ dust mask may not always deliver that for everybody. But that aside the point, that's probably going to be far and few in between. The RZ dust mask does offer a 0.1 micron filtration, which of course means that it's going to be better at biological contaminants, such as some of the strange stuff that we have in the world today. That gives it a little bit of a small advantage over the base camp. But as far as comfort goes, I mean, this is good for maybe 2 or 3 hours of wearing, and then you're really going to want to take it off. It's just not as comfortable as it could be. Extremely well designed, great stitching. Everything about RZ is amazing, so don't take me wrong on that. But it's not Basecamp. So on Basecamp, on the other hand, you know, we're going to have little things like these loops, which make it easier to put the mask on. It seems like a little thing, but when you're having to take it on and take it off quite often, trust me, that's a big deal. Having the longer Velcro straps on the back make it so the size can be a little bit more universal than what RZ can do, because they're almost, well, let's just take a look at the difference here. Yeah, that's a big difference. They're almost probably about a quarter larger, maybe a little bit, maybe almost a half. And that's actually a pretty big difference. The ability to have the neat little AEB system allows it to kind of keep the loops away from your ears. So that's kind of more of an improvement than anything else. But again, it is kind of a nice thing because that shows the fact that they're really big into quality. The stitching on it is just amazing. I mean, it feels nice. It's soft. It feels soft on your face. It's a great all-day wear kind of a mask. That really does make a big difference. The only difference in the filters between what Basecamp offers and what RZ offers, and no, you can't switch them. We tried just for testing purposes behind the scenes. The RZ dust mask will get you down to 0.1 microns, where the Basecamp will get you down to 0.3 microns. What's the difference? Well, not much. Realistically, most biological contaminants are generally 0.5 microns. So at 0.3, you're already pretty much good to go for anything biological that might be happening. As we know out in the world, there's definitely some stuff like that going on. The RZ, on the other hand, goes down to 0.1, which again is kind of overkill. At the end of the day, these are dust masks. They're designed to prevent you from getting dust and inhaling anything nasty that's in the air. They both do an excellent job at that according to all their stuff. Basecamp was nice enough to provide us with the testing information. RZ was not. So, you know, we actually know that Basecamp's actually been tested out for those types of things. So at the end of the day, though, they're both great masks. The Basecamp, though, does seem to have a few more feature advantages. They're typically more comfortable. They have the extra little strap to go and add to that comfort. It comes with 3 filters. You get 2 masks in the thing. RZ pretty much comes with a filter, the mask itself, and it comes with a little zipper bag that we didn't even bother to even include. That ultimately just you throw your mask in there and maybe some extra things in there. And I guess you could get like a little pouch or something. You probably could do the same thing with Basecamp. I mean, if you need a bag, just go buy a bag. Seriously, it's not that big of a feature advantage. Needless to say, they're both great products, but the Basecamp definitely seems to be the one that is a little bit more put together. They seem like they've thought it out a little bit better, and it's just, it seems like it might be a little bit better of a product, quite frankly, in my opinion. So I would definitely recommend this one over the RZ Dust Mask, ironically. So, nice thing about not being sponsored, I can say the truth. But yes, I feel that this is actually a better mask. I think that this one's a really good mask, and if you have it, I don't know if you necessarily would need to upgrade to this, but if you're looking at buying a new mask, or you know, maybe your RZ's finally worn out, this might not be a bad option. It really might not be. So we'll leave links down below for all of these different types of masks and filters and stuff like that. So that way you guys can go and, well, basically choose by buying. So there you go. And you tell me what you think is the best. But ultimately, it does seem like the Basecamp actually has a little bit of an advantage that I haven't really seen mentioned in a lot of reviews. And I think that this stuff is probably the most important stuff to you, who's going to be sitting here having to wear this thing regularly. So, you know, I hope this helps out. Needless to say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon for all of our newest videos. In the meantime, stay safe in the shop.